Hello everyone, welcome to Compiler Design video series. In our previous video, I have already discussed about unit number 6. In unit 6, I have discussed about source language issues like procedure call, activation tree, control stack, the scope of declaration, binding of names. Then storage organization, there are 3 different methods: subdivision of runtime memories, activation records, and compile time layout of local data. Then after, static versus dynamic memory allocation. Then storage allocation techniques, there are mainly 3 storage allocation techniques: static storage allocation, stack storage allocation, and heap storage allocation. Then parameter passing methods. Common parameter passing methods are call by value, call by reference, call by name, and copy restore. Block structure and non-block structure allocation. What is symbol table? How characters of a name or any identifiers are stored in symbol table. List the data structure for a symbol table. And dynamic storage allocation techniques, which are explicit allocation and implicit allocation. So these all topics are discussed in our previous 2 videos and just completed unit number 6. In today's lecture, I will discuss about code optimization, which is your unit number 7. First, what is code optimization? Code optimization is the process to optimize or minimize the given code. There is no any change from original code after the optimization. So in this video, I will discuss about code optimization techniques, peephole optimization, global data flow analysis. So what is global data flow analysis? To efficiently optimize the code, compiler collects all the information about the program and distribute this information to each block of the flow graphs. So there are many loops in flow graphs like dominators, natural loop, inner loop, pre-header, reducible flow graph, and non-reducible flow graph. So these all are the types of loops in flow graphs. So this process is known as data flow graph analysis. Flow graph just show how to flow your data. So data flow equations are the equations representing the expression that are appearing in the flow graph. Data flow information can be collected by setting up and solving systems of equation that relate information at various points in a program. So equation for data flow equation written in the form of equation like out of S is equal to general of S union in of S minus kill of S. It can be read as the information at the end of statement is either generated within a statement or enters at the beginning and is not killed as control flows through the statement. The details of how data flow equations are set up and solved depend on three factors. First one is the notions of generating and killing depend on the desired information. For example, on the data flow analysis problem to be solved. Moreover, for some problems, instead of proceeding along with flow of control and defining out of S in terms of in of S, we need to proceed backwards and define in of S in terms of out of S. Second is data flows along control paths. Data flow analysis is affected by the constructs in a program. In fact, when we write out of S, we implicitly assume that there is any unique endpoint where control leaves the statement. In general, equations are set up at the level of basic blocks rather than statements because blocks do have unique endpoints. And third is there are subtleties that go along with such statement as procedure calls, assignments through pointer variables, and even assignment to array variables. Then basics terminology for data flow. First is definition point. It's a point in a program containing some definition. It's define something. Reference point is a point in a program containing a reference to a data item. And third one is evaluation point, a point in a program containing evaluation of expression. So for example, here S1 gives A is equal to 8, which is a definition point. Define some value in a variable. Reference point, it means it contains a reference to a data item. In this example, I give S2 gives B is equal to A. So the value of A is assigned to B. So it's any reference. And third is evaluation point. It contains some evaluation of expression. So here I express one expression like Z is equal to C into D. The value of C and D is multiplied, then after answer is stored in variable Z. Next is data flow properties. There are 4 different properties available: expression, reaching definition, live variable, and busy expression. First is available expression. Expression is said to be available at a program point X if and only if along paths it's reaching to X. It means you say that your expression is available for any point at its evaluation. An expression is available at its evaluation point. Expression A plus B is said to be available if none of the operands gets modified before their use. For example, here I show L1 is equal to 4 into I. Say block 1, block 2 and block 3. 4 into I, this expression is available for this block and this block also. Here in block 2, y is equal to x plus d of L1, and in block 3, L2 equal to 4 into I. Here 4 into I is available for block 2 and block 3. Advantages of available expression is used to eliminate common sub-expression. Common sub-expressions are eliminated. Next one is reaching definition. A definition D is reaches a point X if there is path from D to X in which D is not killed. For example, not redefined. Here in block 1, D1 gives X is equal to 4. In block B2, X is equal to X plus 2, and block B3, Y is equal to X plus 2. D1 is reaching definition for B2 but not for B3 since it is killed by D2. Here value of X is equal to 4 is passed to block 2. Block 2 get the value of X from block B1. Then after it changes in that value. So it is killed by block B2. So value of D1 is not directly reached at block B3. So advantages of reaching definition is that used in constant and variable propagation. Third is live variable. A variable is said to be live at some point P if from P2 and the variable is used before it is redefined, else it becomes dead. Whenever your variable is redefined, it means reassigned. At that time it will be changed, otherwise it's dead. For example, here A is equal to 4. In block B1, block B2, C is equal to 7. In block B3, B is equal to 5. In block B4, U is equal to A plus B. Block B5, A is equal to C plus U. Here the value of A is live at block B1, B3 and B4 because A is equal to 4 reach at this block B. Here B is equal to 5, so there is no change in A. Here B4, U is equal to A plus B, so value of B from block 3 and value of A from block B1. So there is also no change in value of A. But in block B5, the result of C plus U is stored in A. Here value of A is 4. Then here value of A is addition of C plus U. So it is redefined. So it is killed at block B5. So advantages of live variable. It is useful for register allocation and also used in dead code elimination. Next is busy expression. An expression is busy along a path if and only if its evaluation exists along that path and none of its operand definition exists before its evaluation along the path. You used any expression, then after it says busy if and only if its evaluation exists along with path. So advantages of busy expression is used for performing code movement optimization. So these four are data flow properties. Then after code optimization techniques. There are many techniques are available for code optimization. Here I discussed some of basic code optimization techniques. There are compile time, evaluation, common sub-expressions elimination, variable propagation, code movement, strength reduction, and dead code elimination. So first is compile time evaluation. It means shifting of computations from runtime to compile time. So there are two methods used to obtain the compile time evaluation. First is folding and second is constant propagation. In the folding technique, the computation of constant is done at compile time instead of runtime. For example, b is equal to into bracket 22 divided by 7 multiply with d. So here folding is implied by performing the computation of 22 divided by 7 at compile time. Second is constant propagation. In this technique, the value of variable is replaced and computation of an expression is done at compile time. For example, pi is equal to 3.14 and r is equal to 5. Area is equal to pi into r into r. Here at the compilation time, the value of pi is replaced by 3.14 and r by 5. Then computation of area is calculated like (3.14) into 5 into 5. So at compile time, this value is replaced. Next is common sub-expression elimination. The common sub-expression is an expression appearing repeatedly in the program which is computed previously. So if the operands of this sub-expression don't get changed at all, then result of such sub-expression is used instead of recomputing at each time. For example, you have expression like this: T1 is equal to 4 into I, T2 is equal to A of T1, T3 is equal to 4 into J, T4 is equal to 4 into I, T5 is equal to N, T6 equal to B of T4 plus T5. Here 4 into I is 2 times and there is no change in the value of I or this expression. So this value is repeated 2 times, which is eliminated like T1 is equal to 4 into I. The result of 4 into I is stored in T1. Then T2 is equal to A of T1. T3 is equal to 4 into J. Here T4 is equal to 4 into I, which is repeated. So common sub-expression elimination. So don't write T4 again. T5 is equal to N. Then T6 equal to B of T4. Value of T4 is 4 into I. Here 4 into I is stored in T1. So T6 equal to B of T1 plus 5. Here eliminate common sub-expression which value is not changed, so it is eliminated. Next, variable propagation. Variable propagation means use of one variable instead of another. For example, x is equal to pi, then area equal to x into r into r. Here first stores value of pi into another variable x, then after x is used. So the optimization technique using variable propagation can be done as follows, like area is equal to pi into r into r. Here the variable x is eliminated. So the necessary condition is that a variable must be assigned to another variable or some constant. Next is code movement. There are two basic goals of code movement. First one is to reduce the size of code, and second one is to reduce the frequency of execution of code. For example, I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 10, and I plus plus. X is equal to y into 5 and k is equal to y into 5 plus 50. So here every time y into 5 is calculated, instead of this it is stored in one temporary variable like temp is equal to y into 5. Then after for I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus, then the value of temp is stored in x and k is equal to temp plus 50. While in loop invariant computation can be optimized by moving some amount of code outside the loop and placing it just before entering the loop. This method is also known as code motion. While I less than or equal to max minus 1, then sum is equal to sum plus a of I. Here one expression I less than or equal to max minus 1. So in loop invariant computation it can be stored in another variable like n is equal to max minus 1. Then your loop will be while I less than or equal to n and sum is equal to sum plus a of I. Strength reduction. Strength of certain operators is higher than the others. For instance, strength of multiplication is higher than the addition. So in this technique, the higher strength operator can be replaced by lower strength operators, but not that there is no any change in your answer. For example, I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 50 and I plus plus. Then after count is equal to I into 7. So here I get the value of count like first I is equal to 1, then I less than or equal to 50, 1 less than or equal to 50. Yes, condition is true. Then count is equal to 1 into 7. It means 1. So first time value of count is 7. Then after I plus plus, when loop is repeated, incremented part is executed. So I plus plus, now value of I is 2. Then 2 less than or equal to 50. Yes. Then value of count equal to 2 into 7, which is 14. Next I plus plus, then value of I is equal to 3. 3 less than or equal to 50? Yes. Then count equal to 3 into 7, which is 21. So we get the count values as 7, 14, 21, 28 and so on up to the less than 50. So this code can be replaced by using strength reduction as like t is equal to 7. This is nothing but any temporary variable. For I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 50, I plus plus. Count equal to t. So first value of 7 is stored in count, then t is equal to t plus 7. So here your count is 7. Now t is equal to 7 plus 7, which is 14. So the value of t is 14. So next time when loop is repeated, the value of count is 14. Then after 14 plus 7, 21. So whenever next third time loop is repeated, at that time value of count is 21. So we get the count values as 7, 14, 21 like this. So instance of higher strength operators can be replaced by lower strength operator. So multiplication is replaced by addition, but there is no change in answer. Next is dead code elimination. A variable is said to be live in a program if the value contained into subsequently. On the other hand, the variable is said to be dead at a point in a program if the value contained into it is never been used. So the code containing such a variable supposed to be a dead code, and an optimization can be performed by eliminating such a dead code. For example, here I is equal to 1. In variable I assign the value 1. Then after check the condition, if I equal 12, then D is equal to B plus 8. So value of I equal to 1, there is no any increment. So value of I is never become 12. So whenever you assign I is equal to 1, the condition if I equal 12 will never be true. So this code will be eliminated. If statement is a dead code, as this condition will never get satisfied, so statement can be eliminated and optimization can be done. So these are the code optimization techniques. There are 6 different code optimization techniques. First is compile time evaluation, common sub-expression elimination, variable propagation, code movement, strength reduction and dead code elimination. Next is peephole optimization. Then what is peephole optimization? Why we used peephole optimization? So it is a simple and effective technique for locally improving target code. This technique is applied to improve the performance of the target program by examining the sort sequence of target instructions called the peephole and replacing these instructions by shorter or faster sequence whenever possible. Peephole is a small moving window on the target program. There are 6 different characteristics of peephole optimization. First is redundant instruction elimination. Second, unreachable code. Third, flow of control optimization. Fourth, algebraic simplification. Fifth, reduction in strength. And sixth, machine idioms. Then what is doing in redundant instruction elimination? Especially the redundant loads and stores can be eliminated in this type of transformation. It means, for example, you used move R0 to X and move X to R0. So we can eliminate the second instruction since X is in already R0. But if move X, R0 is a label statement, then we cannot remove it. Second is unreachable code. An unlabeled instructions immediately following an unconditional jump may be removed. So this operation can be repeated to eliminate the sequence of instruction. Third one is flow of control optimization. The unnecessary jumps can be eliminated in either the intermediate code or the target code by the following types of peephole optimization. Like, you can use any jump statement like go to L1, then gives L1, then go to L2. First you give the instruction that go to L1. Whenever you reached at L1, then it instructs like go to L2. Instead of you used go to L2, then reach at L1 means go to L2. So if there are no jumps to L1, then it may be possible to eliminate the statement L1 go to L2, provided it is preceded by an unconditional jump. Then algebraic simplification. Peephole optimization is an effective technique for algebraic simplification. Statement such like x is equal to x plus 0 or x is equal to x into 1 can be eliminated by peephole optimization. Next is reduction in strength. So certain machine instructions are cheaper than the other. In order to improve performance of intermediate code, we can replace this instruction by equivalent cheaper instructions. For example, x power 2, it means x square is cheaper than x into x. Similarly, addition and subtraction is cheaper than multiplication and division. So we can add effectively equivalent addition and subtraction for multiplication and division. Next, machine idioms. The target instructions have equivalent machine instructions for performing some operations. So we can replace these target instructions by equivalent machine instruction in order to improve the efficiency. For example, some machines have auto increment or auto decrement addressing modes. These modes can be used in code for statement like I is equal to I plus 1, or in case of decrement it will be I is equal to I minus 1. So this is your peephole optimization. So in unit number 7, I will discuss about data flow graph, code optimization techniques, peephole optimizations. In your GTU exams, questions to be asked like explain global data flow analysis, explain data flow properties, list out code optimization techniques and explain any 3 or 4 or just explain code optimization techniques. What is code optimization? Explain code optimization techniques. Then explain peephole optimization. So thus type of questions are asked in your GTU exam. So this is your unit number 7. Thank you.